Hey, hey, hey. Time for another out of this world story from rSpace. 2.5 months after leaving the house, her partner abandoned her. I found out a few days ago she has been cheating on me for 2 months with a random dude from the internet. It looks like they actually have a real connection and potential thing together, so it's not based purely on physical attraction. We have a 2-year-old child. They met online talking about a common passion, and they connected, and since she was unhappy, it became something. The other side of the story is she was unhappy with me and in her current life for over a year. She went through hell for a good 1.5 years. She suffered so much. No excuses for what she's done though, just wanted to paint the full picture. She is moving out in 2 weeks, my request, and I don't plan on talking to her at all at first. She's going to continue her adventure with him. They both think they want an open relationship. If she doesn't take time to reflect on everything before pursuing her adventure or not, then I'm not there for her. I won't care about her anymore. Update. Here's my story. I discovered 3 days ago she's been cheating on me for 2 months with the same dude and saw him 5 times. This dude is not new in her life. I spotted her flirting with him online in early October. Back then she was telling me she was unhappy and lost, and it was a mistake. She was deeply unhappy. Our relationship hasn't been going well since May or June of 21. I suffered depression for over 1.5 years, and as I was spiraling down, I was getting more and more aggressive with some violent behaviors. Hole in the wall, slamming doors, throwing objects on the ground, and yelling. Lots of yelling. After her, after the baby. She wasn't supported. She wasn't feeling desired. I wasn't wanting sex during the depression, and she felt like she was on her own with no partner. And she's right. She had no partner. I started therapy in June, and since mid-July, I am stable and had been working on myself as a man and a human being. There are issues she mentioned during our fights that were not related to the depression, and those need to be fixed for her to be happy. Problem is, she was burnt out of carrying the family on her own, and she lost her feelings and she had no energy left to work on the relationship. I was the only one working on myself and the couple. Things started to get worse in November, as it's when she contacted him again, and she basically found an exit to escape her current unhappy life. We started couples therapy in December, but she was already cheating and gone in her head. She told me in December she took the decision to leave the house and to split up. I agreed it was a good idea since it was getting super toxic at home. During the holidays, we came up with some sort of plan. Around 2 months to find a job, a place, save some money, and be ready to have the baby at her place. But since I learned about the cheating, this is not okay anymore. I gave her 2 weeks. Their relationship is a bit weird. He's living abroad, huge age gap, his children are older than her. But they do have a real connection. She really likes him and is starting to fall in love. She thinks she doesn't want a traditional relationship anymore and want to try an open relationship. And instead of taking a break and thinking about everything first, she has decided to continue with him. I told her she could not see him while she's still living at home, but that the 2 weeks deadline is flexible. She said she's seeing him in 2.5 weeks anyway, so she can't stay any longer. She is extremely and deeply hurt by everything she went through and suffered so much she doesn't believe in me changing or being sincere. She doesn't believe me when I tell her I didn't want her to be sad and unhappy, and that's why my depression was getting worse. Her new relationship is obviously wonderful. It's the very beginning. It's always awesome and super exciting, but I think she's delusional. She thinks it's gonna last. The feeling. My ultimate wish is for the 3 of us to be happy together and as individuals. We decided to make a family together, and this was based on real intense love for each other. She only sees the negative now and seems to unconsciously forget about how it really was for her with me before all this mess. I don't want to talk to her as long as she is with this dude, except for about the baby. Tell me I'm not crazy. Update. Lies, lies, and more lies. Because living a double life for 2 months and lying wasn't enough, she had to screw it up even more. We had an agreement. While she was home during the 2 weeks, she has to find a job and a place. She cannot text her new relationship while I'm in the same room. Yesterday, I suspected she did while we were having a serious conversation. I checked her laptop. She did. I went to confront her in the middle of the night without saying I knew, just asking, and she refused to answer. She then stayed muted, and I started derailing. Menaced her to call a cab and a hotel right away and put her outside, and she recorded it. Then I unlocked her door, and she still refused to answer and menaced me to call the police. She knew exactly what she was doing by not answering. She knew what it would trigger in my current state. She recorded it. She is malicious, and she became somebody I don't recognize. She's a pathetic liar who has no honor and no respect. I've been warned many times, obviously, but the truth is now out. What she did doesn't excuse my actions, though, but that's the trigger, and she knew it. F this crap. P.S. I think I'll go to a lawyer and maybe the police by myself to be the first to take action. That will show I have good intentions and want to make it right. Update. We broke up, but knowing when she sees him makes me feel bad. Advice. So she left him 3 days ago. The first night, she was at the hotel with him right away. I guess, but I got confirmation later. Tonight, I'm pretty certain she's at the hotel again with him. How do I know? The only times she was connected, neither to Instagram or Messenger, was when she was seeing him and was cheating on me. So today, since 10 p.m., not connected on any of those platforms. I'm feeling bad since I'm sure she's seeing him again. It's just killing me that she left the family without even trying to fix our problems, but she's devoting her entire time to him as soon as she can, and alternate with the baby. I don't know what to do and how to deal with that. I basically deleted our conversation from Instagram, so I don't see her status on there. As for Messenger, that's how we communicate for the baby, so I don't see much option there. Do you guys have any tricks? Thanks. Update. So long story short, it's been 2 weeks. She left the house since she cheated on me for 2 months, and she didn't want to stop her affair. I recently, a week ago, told her I want no contact except when it is about our son. Since then, every day she texts me about random stuff. Yesterday, I was clear I don't want to be in touch with her since she doesn't care about me and I still love her, so I could protect myself and heal alone. I blocked her from Messenger, so I don't see when she's online or not, and so I would think about her less. She was a bit shocked already. What did she do? Messaged me in the evening about something uninteresting, twice. Then this morning again. Since I was ignoring her, she came to my house. Pretexted she was worried since I wasn't replying. She was almost in tears and her voice was weird. She seemed in distress a bit. She added, "You're ghosting me. It doesn't feel good." There are many things I could have replied, but I was a bit speechless she could say that to me after what she's done. She was going to a medical appointment and stopped by on the way to there. I told her I don't want to talk to her except about our son again, and she left. 3 hours later, she gets out of her appointment and texts me the outcome, and sends 6 or 7 messages about it and asking if I had chickenpox when I was a kid, then asked if our son got anything weird on his skin. I just replied, no, even though she spends time with him every other day, so she knows very well he didn't have any problem. So she basically finds pretext to just engage in a conversation with me all the time, but she doesn't care about me, since she won't stop her affair, didn't want to talk about it, and doesn't take any time to reflect on the situation, etc. She's just trying to get the best from me while staying away from the bad. She lives in a parallel dimension. Update. She started cheating in September, October of 21. I discovered in early January that she left around the 17th, I believe. She kept going with him and didn't want to reconsider anything. Fast forward to this week, she got dumped. They were supposed to have an open relationship. Turns out, she had too many expectations and he checked out. It's sad to see all the mess they created for nothing. Nothing would have justified it anyway, but our family is destroyed and she's now alone and damaged as well. So it's a lose-lose situation. I care for her so much, regardless of what she's done to me, because the cheating is just one of the consequences of her untreated mental health problems. It's just sad overall. P.S. I am myself very okay and at peace with myself and with her. I know what I did right and wrong, and same about her. Our first reaction comes from Rubicon Man 1970. I'm happy for you. My ex cheated and married her affair partner. Been 4 years now. Happy she is gone and leaving me alone. I fear her relationship crapping out and coming back to me. Stay strong. Life gets better. The OP responds, can't say I'm happy about it. I'm happy because my life makes sense again. I won't go into details about the whole thing, but it just made no sense. The only thing that would have made sense is him getting scared or her getting bored. Well, he got tired of her and scared. So, I'm not crazy and it feels good to see I was right. It doesn't feel good to see her suffering. I'm still sorry about your ex even though you're now happy without her. Nobody should ever have to go through what we went through. Not even my ex. Yeah, he dumped her because he has somebody else. Rubicon Man 1970 replies back, I've skimmed over your profile. Wow. I see your son, her mental issues. I pretty much advised the cheated to move on. I would not be disappointed in you if she was truly remorseful and did therapy for the relationship. I'm 51 and would never date a 25-year-old. Would be fun, but for a relationship? No. She went because of him. You work on you. She works on her. And hope the best of you two. If not, co-parent the best. The OP replies, yeah, and I don't post everything from the same account, so you don't have every element. But to summarize it, I have my problems, she has hers. She got affected by my problems until she broke down. Then I got affected by her problems and still am. She won't accept her problems fully yet, and if she does, she still needs to understand them and go to therapy. And if she does, she still needs to make progress and work on herself. And if she still does, she will still need to pardon me for what she went through and give us a second chance. So many ifs that I try not to even look at it anymore. On my side, I know I'm fully ready to do all the work because I built my life around her and for our family, and I don't want to put the same energy into the future for anybody else. I have my son and only him deserves that energy. Otherwise, then it will be about myself and that's it. She will not accept she went away for him yet. She lied to herself and bought her falsified version of reality. One of the problems of her disorder. She keeps saying she was gone since May of 21 in her head and it was over, when in fact, there were ups and downs until she started talking to him. And our ups were amazing. The downs were definitely something we could have worked out in couples counseling, for instance. But when she started talking to him, suddenly everything turned to crap. The more she was invested with him behind the scene, the worse our relationship was getting. She was sabotaging everything to justify her leaving and cheating so she doesn't feel too bad about herself. But that's too big for her to realize and accept for now anyway. Mental illnesses are effed up, and I don't have much expectations anymore. I have wishes, but I can't say I have much hope or expectation anymore. Thanks for your words again. Our next comment comes from ArmorTeague227. I know you feel terrible for her, even with everything she did to you and your family, and it's understandable. It means you still have a heart. But you must remember she did all of this to herself. Don't let that heart of yours trick you into letting her back. It'll only lead to even more problems. Don't be her anchor. I'm telling you this for your own good. You're still too vulnerable. And empathy has a way of clouding the mind. She is a grown woman and knew what was at stake, and she still cheated on you. Right now is about you healing and moving on. Focus on that, my friend. Leave her to her own demons. Surround yourself with good and strong company to continue your journey back to you. Hang in there, brother.